All right, guys, so this is my Cybertruck. As you can see, I got the running boards, which I actually really love. But the number one thing I don't like about this truck, I wish they would just upgrade it, is right there. This flimsy, tiny little mirror. All right, so enter this. I got this from Hand Show. Here's my discount code at the bottom. You can purchase one of these for yourself. I'm going to show you the installation process of putting this into my Cybertruck. Here's the actual rear view mirror. So it's got different feeds here. One is for power, one is for the rear view camera, and one is for the front view. And this acts as a dash cam as well too. And what I like about this compared to the other ones on the market is that this has a mount that lets you use the factory mount, so I don't have to stick another mirror on top of the mirror, or at least on top of this small one, because those tend to rattle, they're heavy, and it just doesn't look very OEM. But this is the closest that we can get to getting to OEM, and these cords are going to go in here, and it's going to go up through this area and this area, and then we're going to try and follow these paths to get outside to mount the camera out there. So here's a look how it's going to look like right there. So this rear view mirror should have been a video screen from the beginning. See, the problem is when the tonneau cover is closed, you can't see through your mirror because the tonneau cover is blocking the rear view window. And even when you open the tonneau cover, this small slice of window is still pretty narrow to look through, and you could, you can't really see the cars behind you. So that's why I think that this mirror should have been a digital screen that uses a camera to see behind the truck. It uses the camera on the back of the bed so that you can see behind you, but this little sliver is so tiny to look at, and it's not just practical. Your natural instinct is just to look up here. The other problem is if you ever decide to load your bed with long items and leave the tailgate down, you're just going to look at the ground like this. You're not going to see anything. So that's also a reason why the camera that's on the tailgate is not the ideal position for the rear view feed. So you can see right here, I could just scroll up like that and I can see what's in my truck bed, which is really cool. And then if I were to close my cover right here, I can see it closing like that. And even with this covering up half of the viewpoint right here, I could just scroll up like this, and this sees all the cars behind me just fine. Now, you've already seen plenty of install videos of this on Hand Show's website, but as you know, it just requires a couple of pry tools that allows you to just go in here and then just to pop it out. This thing pops off and it's easy to put it back in. The hardest part is actually getting all the wires in here and rolling them up so that it allows you to close this enclosure. That was an issue that I was facing. For me, I'm not using the front camera that was included in it because I don't think I need that since the car already has Sentry mode. So I didn't connect the front camera option. I let that wire just coil inside this enclosure. The next thing you do is you can see the wires are right there, right straight from the rear view mirror. It goes straight up into this enclosure, and inside here, I had it routed right through here and inside this enclosure. This one can also be removed just by pulling down on this, and there's a gap where you can hold the wires and actually guide it through here. And then I had mine go into this roof panel right here. Once it gets in this area, this is where it becomes a lot easier because from this point on, you could just use a pry tool and you could just push your wires in this area and route it all the way to the end. And then let me show you what I did on that side. Now from this point of the A-pillar on the passenger side, I forced the wires inside here. This panel, as you can see, it's kind of, you could push it. It's has a gap in between these two. See, I could go underneath this. I actually put my wire in here and I guided it down this line. And then where this line is, this is the next connecting point. I actually forced the wire in here as well too. And then now I'm on the weather sealing rubber. And this is the part where it actually, the wire is going to exit the vehicle. From here, like I said, the wire goes to this weather seal. This can actually pull off. So if you pull down on it, it can actually come down. There. And then you can see my wire. There's my wire. And then once you get it through this, I just guided it along this channel right here. And I made it go up underneath this other weather seal right there. And once you're done, you just push this back up and it can go back onto the seal. And you can see here, I guided my wire underneath this rubber strip right here. And you can see part of my wire actually sticking out right there. It can go underneath this piece right here, as you can see. And the wire went in here and then above here. See how it goes underneath? So I guided my wire in here. And then same thing with the rear passenger door. I went to the rear passenger window door underneath this strip right here. And you can see my wire again, right there. So I guided it all the way to this end, and there's my wire again. And I went underneath this strip as well, went underneath here, and then now I'm on this section. So this part was a little tricky. From here, this piece can come off. You just have to stick your pry tool underneath, and you can see I'm already lifting it. This whole thing can come off. You just guide the wire down in here. Behind it, you go into here, and there's a hole that can lead you up to this top section right here. So once you grab a coat hanger, I basically fished the wire down through here and went to the other side of this area. And I tied the wire to the cord, and then I pulled the whole wire through. And once you do, you get the cord and you guide it through this channel right here. You can see part of my wire sticking out. The wire's here again. And then I tucked it in like this until I got to this part. This connector for the rear camera, unfortunately, it cannot fit in there, but I am okay with it sticking out like that. It doesn't bother me that much. So for now, that's gonna have to stick out until I come up with a cleaner solution. Again, I continued on my path and I tucked it in underneath this glass until I got to this point, and then I could see the wire going into this housing. And then that's how I decided to mount it. So now that I have this rear view mirror camera installed, I no longer need this here anymore. So I can always like hide it, but every time I drive, it's gonna keep popping up. So if I want to take it out permanently, I'm just gonna hit this the main car settings, and I'm gonna go down to safety, and then I'm gonna go down to rear view camera, and I'm gonna put it on off. So now it'll no longer pop this out. So once I hide it, it's never gonna come back again. And then you can see what it's like when I drive my truck and just using the digital rear view mirror camera. As you can see, it looks really clear. I actually think it looks clearer than the actual camera that's built in on the tailgate. I think this resolution looks much clearer, and even at nighttime. Even this, I can adjust it and look inside my bed. Go back to my feet out there. Really cool. I'm hoping that in the future, maybe with the later edition of the CyberTrucks, that they're going to decide that this will become a standard equipment for future models. I think this is the biggest miss that this truck has. And again, if I don't want to use the rear video feed, I could just press this button on the bottom, and now I have the actual mirror. And I could just push it again and turn it back on, and have the feed. I can also change the brightness on this quickly by just clicking on this light button right here, and I could just drag it and change my brightness. If it's too bright, because at nighttime at full brightness it is too bright. You really do have to adjust it when it is at nighttime, but on the daytime I use it on full brightness. Well, that's my installation and review of the Hansshow 8.2-inch rear view mirror recorder for the CyberTruck. If you like content like this, give me a like and subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one.